I don't have to say it. You already know what I'm doing. You already know what I'm doing with this right hand of mine. I am left handed, but I use this right hand to wave when you are being welcomed to the Grow Podcast. Once again, welcome to the Grow Podcast. I'm your host, David Rocker, and I hope you guys are ready for another great week of growing. Listen, before I get started with this podcast, let me just go ahead and acknowledge my guy. You guys have heard me mention him before, Pat Carter. That's my dude down in Florida who listens to the Grow Podcast religiously, but he took a trip to Texas this week where another former teammate of mine, Daryl Henley, got married this past weekend. Yes, congrats, D. Hen. Jump in the room. But I just wanted to share that because both of these guys have such tremendous testimonies. I mean, Pat just overcame alcoholism and has gone on to write 2 books, and he has another book that he's getting ready to write that's going to be an inspirational book. Daryl Henley, man, just overcame a situation where you thought he was going to be serving a life sentence in prison, but by God's grace, he has been freed and also has moved on with his life. So once again, congratulations to D. Hen being able to get married in Texas, and also to all my other former teammates who I was able to see on Facebook who was there at the wedding. All right, listen, jumping into what we're going to be talking about today on the Grow Podcast, we're going to be talking about personal growth signs. You know, as you work on becoming the best you that you can possibly be, I want to just point out 3 signs that will help you notice that, yes, you are growing. It's not just for you to say it to yourself, but I'm going to just share with you very quickly 3 signs to know that you are growing in the area of becoming a better person. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this for 2 weeks. I'm going to keep it personal this week, but then next week, I'm going to point out 3 signs to let you know how you are growing spiritually. But I just want to keep it on the surface today and just give you 3 signs on how you know that you are growing personally in your life. Number 1 is this: you respond with patience instead of reacting with anger. Huh? What about that? Think about it. How have you been responding lately? As you get older, certain things need to change as you're working on becoming a better you. You become more thoughtful and less defensive. How about that? Also, this: you're in better control of your emotions. What I mean by that, you control your emotions rather than being controlled by your emotions. You know, remember that point in your life when you were ruled by your emotions? Things would happen and you get all emotional about it. But as you have grown to become a better person, you realize, listen, yes, I am a man. We have emotions, even a woman. You have emotions, but do not allow your emotions to control all of your actions. Okay, so that's one of the first things that you start to notice, that you respond with patience instead of reacting with anger. Number 2 is this: you admit faults and learn from your mistakes. Yep. Yep, you have learned to put your pride aside, and you are more open to really just admitting, you know what, I messed up. And you're also learning to learn from your mistakes. Instead of blaming others, you are okay with taking responsibility. Hey, you know what, I messed up. That was on me. And you just simply are okay with admitting that. And also, you're open to feedback from others. You're open to someone giving you some, positive criticism in a way to help you become a better person. These are signs that you know that you are really becoming a better person. You're not just saying, I'm a better person. No, you're asking others. Let me ask you something. Am I too emotional? Do you see how I've improved as a person? These are some things that you can just simply look at. And here's the last thing, even when I'm talking about admitting faults and learning from your mistakes, here's a big one. You grow from failures and you're not defined by them. So often we can have failures early in life and we will just let them define us. So we won't try something again. You may have had a business. It failed when you were in your 20s and you've just been shell shocked. You won't even do it again. More so than saying, no, you know what? I was young. It was some things I didn't know, but you know what? Let me go back and look at this and do it again. Let me look at some of the mistakes I made, some of the failures that took place, and now let me build on those things. Okay. So number two, that you admit your faults and learn from your mistakes. And here's the last one. Number three, you treat others with compassion and respect. Yes, compassion. Here's my thing. Compassion, I always think that, people have said that compassion is just taking pity on someone. I have broken down compassion to this right here. Compassion means that you can look at someone and you can say, I've come past that street before. I've been there. I know how you're feeling. I can understand your response. I can understand your frustrations because I've been there. I've come past that place in life. So as you grow as a person, personally in your life, working on becoming a better you, you learn to have compassion and respect for others. By doing that, here's some signs that you can know that you're having compassion on others. You start to listen more. Well, you start to listen more and judge less. Let me just put it that way. You listen more and judge less. You also seek to build others up rather than tear them down. I'm just simply at a place in my life when there's enough negativity in this world today that, man, we need to work on being the light. I'm not trying to get into the spiritual stuff today. I'm going to do that next week. But you do need to work on just be the positive person on your job. Be the positive person in your family. Don't be the one you're always judging and you're always tearing people down. Make it a point to build others up. So listen, remember, if you want to know how can you know that you are growing, here's three things. Remember, how can you recognize that you're growing? Three things. You respond with patience instead of reacting with anger. Number two, you admit faults and learn from mistakes. Remember, your failures do not define you. You grow from them. And number three, you treat others with compassion and what else? And respect. Hey, listen, that's all my time here on the Grow Podcast. I hope you guys will take these things, examine yourself, and look at some areas in which you may need to improve in a sense of you becoming a better you. Let's go, let's grow, and as always, let's keep it moving, people. I'll see you here next week.